Good morning. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. We have made it to the middle of the week. I am Kaluwa and I'm steeping up some ClariTea. Um, this week, I know that Sugar Buster is actually the tea of the month, but my tea of the week is Injure Tea. So I have been drinking the Injure Tea, and I am just I'm going to get to why. So, first, I just want to welcome you here. If you come in from Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, go ahead and leave a comment so I can see that you're here. And on Instagram, I can usually see you, but still, I love when you say hello. So I have been having a really tough go of things lately. And what's interesting is that the planets are kind of what has probably been influencing a lot of this. So I want to preface by saying I'm not an astrologer. That is a really complicated and amazing thing to know. So I follow the energy, right? I follow energy around us. But if you ever want to dive deeper into it, I cannot recommend enough. Christopher Witecki, Sirius Joy is his business, Sirius Joy. And I mean, that's his jam. Like that, he's brilliant. It's his gift. So I would highly recommend if you want to know, more of the details of what's going on around you, especially based on your sign. He's brilliant. But what I've been experiencing, of course, Mercury was in retrograde, and that's usually comes with some technical snafus and things like that, little annoyances. But this time it's been really intense. So looked into it a little bit more again, and there were 6 planets that were in retrograde. So nothing was direct almost. It was just, so if you have been feeling this weird, wonky, just out of sorts feeling, it's okay. There is nothing wrong with you. And, it's just funny because it started actually in the shadow of Mercury in retrograde with some of the little technical snafus that were like, oh, but no big deal. But then the city mowers came through and actually mowed down our internet box for the neighborhood. So we're still dealing with that. Updates that locked me out of my work email, just all of these really weird things. My son had a nasty bike accident on the trail with a man. I mean, they collided and the guy went flipping over him. It was ugly. And I am so grateful that nobody broke anything because it kind of looked like it at first. So there was that. And then there was for 2 weeks, there was an illness. And you may remember I was drinking my Get Well tea for a while. There was an illness trying to invade me, and I was on it and I wasn't letting it happen, but it was relentless for 2 weeks. I could feel like I had to be on top of my sleep, or it was coming, And so I had to be so diligent. And finally I was like, I could tell it's passed, no white coating on the tongue. I'm good. Everything's okay. And just as I'm starting to feel really good, I have this big thud and a sprained foot. So there was clearly a message that it is time to take care of me, right? And it's time to relax, maybe pulling back. One of the things is we're moving from that fire time, right? Summer is from summer solstice to autumnal equinox is that fire time, and now we've moved into earth. And I sometimes feel like it's almost like if you go rollerblading or roller skating, and then you're cruising along, you're going, and then you take off the skates and you walk, and it's what sort of villainy is this? It just feels clunky and weird, and you have these oh. And sometimes I feel like that's sort of what happens as we go from fire to earth. It's like this, what? And it can feel awkward and just sort of clunky. And if you're feeling that, again, I say there's nothing wrong. So I think, you know, I've talked a lot about, feminine gifts and feminine power, and that would be the intuitive and the emotions, the feeling, the flow, all of that is feminine. And a lot of times women have been made to feel wrong for that because we're in a patriarchal society. Not that anybody we know directly is wrong or bad, it's just what has been programmed into us. We've been taught for generations that masculine is good, feminine is trivial, like, and so it's just, years and years of programming that have taught us that. But what I want to encourage you to do is start to realize that no, that's not the case, that these are good traits. These are really good characteristics. And when you're feeling them, pay attention and listen and figure out what it's trying to tell you so that you're not running around, on a sprained foot. So I should have listened a little better. So, these are just, nature all around us, helping us, guiding us, keeping us in the flow. And so that when we, get out of it, maybe sometimes it smacks us back in a little bit. And the more you are listening to this, the more that it's just helping you, again, in that flow, moving along instead of fighting and forcing. And so actually, it's funny because then I pulled our card for today right before I came on, and it was sixth chakra, which is our third eye, our intuition, right? But it's upside down. So, and I know this is not just for me, but it is for me too, because clearly I've just told you. But I also know that I've seen this happening a lot for people around me. A lot of these weird injuries, a lot of it's been happening to a lot of people. So there was a few things in here too that I thought are so right on that I wanted to make sure I don't miss out on. So obviously right now this is telling us to get clear, right? We need to get clear. And that idea of getting clear, the way we do that is not by forging and forcing and pushing forward, it's by leaning back. It's going within, right? It's pulling back. So again, that coming out of that fire, pushing forward and grounding, coming back, ground your feet, get grounded, get clear, right? This is the transit we're in. So let's see, taking off your blinders and widening your perspective. This is something that's been coming up a little bit too. We talked about this recently. Visualize the life you want to live and the person you want to be and make that your intention. So more, right? So I just wanted to keep, saying like, this is the stuff that I've been talking about over this month. You've got to be the person who has it in order to attract it. And so the clearer you are on all of this, the more, you can actually be that person. So, great time. And so this is another reason why it's so good to pull back and to ground, is to break out of old habits like self-doubt, the that little a-hole like inside your head that tells you you're not worthy. That's wrong, wrong, wrong. We need to reprogram that, right? Because it's just something that was repeated. And so sometimes changing it feels like a lie, but it's like, actually, no, you're undoing the lie. So, yeah, we want to, get out of that place of self-criticism, because again, when we're doing that, we're not showing up as the person who has everything that we want. And then, we're not pulling it in. So, there was one more thing. Hold on, guys, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Clearer, healthier vision of how you perceive yourself and what you want your daily life to look like, and knowing that you're in charge of making it so. So the power is within you. You have it. It's not outside of you. And I think that's probably one of the biggest things of just our lack of faith in ourselves. Again, like I said, it's sort of been trivialized for so long. Women's gifts, women's skill sets, the intuitive, it's been trivialized. And so we don't have much faith in it. We don't think it's very valuable. We push it aside. We don't listen, but it's so valuable. And so as you come back into knowing how amazing and how valuable you are, you become more comfortable with making those decisions, with trusting yourself, with, just being in that place of ease. If that does that make sense? So, yeah, meditation, strong personal vision. This is right. This is what we want to do right now. And again, I'm going to put out one last time because it's this Sunday. You're seeing this stuff is coming up. It's like in our energy, in our energy fields. It's in us. It's coming up repeatedly, all of these things. And that's why I have the success worthiness retreat coming up this Sunday. It is a virtual retreat, and it is just going to be all about that connecting to the intuition, getting that clear picture of what it is you want, who that person is. Who does she look like when she already has it, so that we can get clearer on who to be. We're going to get into releasing the resistance, all of the criticism and the nonsense that's blocking us, and really pulling it back to the root of basically what is the worthiness issue that has brought it to the surface. And then we're just going to start manifesting like queens. We're going to put some things in action. I have this really powerful manifestation meditation we're going to do. It's just going to be so indulgent. It's going to be, moving, meditating, journaling. It's going to be this whole thing. It's not a lecture. It's not, here's what you need to do. No, we are going to be doing this together. We're going to be going through it. And like I said, it's a retreat, not a workshop. Okay. So it's all about you. And it is really going to be, like I said, indulgent and powerful. So, would love to have you really just take advantage of this energy. And I will be taking care of myself both at that retreat and today. Actually, I decided, you know what? The universe seems to be telling me to just sort of baby myself a little bit. So I've got my little elephant. Let me see if you can see it. There it is. My elephant pajama bottoms on today and my fuzzy socks, so that, I do have meetings and stuff going on today, but in between them, I can roll around on the floor, some, happy baby stuff to undo some of the wonky posture I'm doing with this sprained foot, right? And just indulging myself, like just taking care of me as I do it, drinking my ginger tea, drinking, just I've got my aches and pains salve. I've got, all of my stuff to just pour into me. And I can still have my day, right? But I'm just going to take care of me. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm following the energy. I'm not fighting, right? With the illness, I fought. I did win, but then I got taken down with the foot. So I'm listening. I'm listening now. Sometimes I'm a little bullheaded. That's my Taurus rising. So I'm listening now, and I am going to indulge me today. So I hope that you will be indulging yourself somehow this week. That was your sage advice, your divine advice, really, for the week. And if you want to check out the virtual retreat, would love to have you there. It's successworthiness.com. You can learn more about it there, and you can also register. And otherwise, I am here on Wednesdays at 9:15, steeping up some ClariTea, or I'm here on Mondays at 9:15 with Imperfectly Amazing. So I hope that you are amazing. Have a great week, and I will see you soon. Have a great one.